of the Baseline Bums
Oh,
podcast.
yeah.
It's your host, Rob, aka B-Ball Archives. And once again, I got AJ up in the casa, the bums. And we are here after the 11th win in a row. I mean, I know this was essentially a practice game because the Brooklyn Nets have been abysmal all year long, but still, a
Yeah.
win's a win, my dude. What were you seeing out there tonight?
Well, I saw a team that went undefeated in the month of February, and I am very, very excited about that. I also saw a practice. I definitely saw a practice. I felt this was very much like what we would see if we just saw them like in the gym at the Rock or something like that. But dude, what I saw is just guys who came out just ready to play. I mean, Dylan Harper, what more can we say about Dylan Harper and his poise? And then Julian Champagnie just poured gasoline on himself and walked out on the court. That dude was on fire the whole time. And then you have obviously Wemby just being dominant on defense, blocking dunks, blocking all kinds of shots. I mean, buddy, this team is just clicking right now. And once again, like we're sitting here going, well, this team is legit. Like this team is where we need to be right now.
Yes, and we are proving that we can just win in so many different ways. And, the first half of the month, we were winning by being paint dominant. And
Right.
now this is the third night in a row where we've just outshot our opponent and we've shot around 40% each one of these games over this little 3-game stretch right here. And it seems that this is another weapon in our arsenal where
Yep.
we could kind of flip a switch and be
Yep.
one of these teams that can also beat you from beyond the 3-point arc. And to have this type of identity as well as the identity that, hey, we can feed Wemby these lobs, and when he's hot, we can go to that time and time again if there's a
Of course.
mismatch. But now it's like, dude, you gotta be staying out on Vassell. You gotta be watching Champagnie when he's coming off of a screen and he's just chilling down there in the corner. Like, these are deadly weapons we have, and being able to utilize them like this, even though it's against the Brooklyn Nets, it is exciting to see our shooting improve the way it has.
And then just the efficiency that we had tonight too. I mean, De'Aaron Fox only had 14 points, but he only missed one shot. Like that's the kind of the games we love to see, and that's the kind of consistency we want. Now, granted, like, is it a big number, 14 points? No, but it's efficient. Like that's what you want your star player to be, is just efficient night in, night out. You want him to come and just try to shoot 100%. And that's what he did. And I mean, just looking at this team, dude, like I'm so excited because even when it was like, kind of garbage time, Lindy Waters comes out and hits some threes, and you're going, where does this end? Like, when does it stop?
Right. We have enormous amounts of depth, and to see so many players get in on the action. You have 7 guys in double figures tonight. You talked about the really efficient game from De'Aaron Fox, and he was getting into the lane and finishing around the defense. And
Yep.
of course, that's what we're going to see. And there was times where he was losing his handle a little bit, but at the end of the day, not a lot of defense to really bother him out there tonight. And I am still so impressed from what we're seeing from Dylan Harper.
My
Once again,
goodness.
it there was a play where he was on the baseline, almost lost the ball and spun back out, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I don't even know really how you have the awareness to make that happen." And then it finished with him dunking it with his
Right.
offhand, and I'm sitting there like, "Oh my goodness.
Like this
This is
kid's
a
a rookie.
He's a rookie, and it's almost things that I wouldn't even expect a veteran to be able to pull off in succession, and it's just was yeah, just really one of those plays that just leaves your jaw on the ground.
And speaking of leaving my jaw on the ground, Steph Castle still can get up with the best of them. And he even gave us a little point at the end of it too. And I was like, yeah, like talk your shit, buddy. Talk your shit. So, dude, this team's fun to watch, man. Like we're prime time, we're showtime. This is great. We definitely had our just like, hey, just making sure that you guys come back after a big game from last night, come in today, got to get that W. And I mean, Michael Porter Jr. is their best player, and he's not great.
Yeah, if Michael Porter Jr. is your best player, your basketball team is doomed. And I mean, he is a good offensive weapon. I'm not going to say he can't sit there and get hot and shoot some threes. And obviously, he's a good rebounder, but
He's
positionally,
lazy.
right, positionally, he's a bad defender. He switches slowly, doesn't really affect the game in multiple ways outside of how he wants to affect the game. And so, like, doesn't really do the things your team needs, and that's why Denver was very, very comfortable moving off of him when they did. But I agree, J Dog. Yeah, I heard from multiple people that said that this is one of those games that you can play down to your opponent, and maybe they'll sneakily get back into the game. And
They
I thought
tried.
you're absolutely right. There was a moment where I felt like we took our foot off the gas, let the lead drop to 6, and I just it just makes me worry that if we just do that against even a halfway decent opponent, that we could be in trouble. But does that worry me for a playoff series? Not necessarily.
Yeah, I feel playoff series we're gonna be locked in. I'm not worried about this team between the years, that's for sure. I think we are going to be locked in mentally. I think it's just going to be a matter of are we going to be hitting shots the way we have been? Because every time Champagne shoots the ball, I feel like it's going in. It looks so good coming out of his hands, and it just looks balanced, controlled. It's perfect. It's literally perfect. So I'm more shocked than not whenever it doesn't go in. And then you have Devin Vassell hitting tough shots too, doing the same damn thing. And I mean, like, how do you stop this team, Rob? Like, if you're like you say you're the Knicks on Sunday, like, what do you tell your guys if you're Mike Brown on how to stop this red hot Spurs team?
I think that you basically have to tell your guys good luck, because the way that we're shooting right now, it's really hard to stop us, because if you're the Knicks, you have 2 guys that essentially are mismatch nightmares. Like, Karl Anthony Towns does not play a lot of defense. He's a point of
Yeah,
attack negative on defense. And the same thing with Jalen Brunson. He gets bullied on defense so
yeah,
often. He might as well be like Darius Garland or Luca, like how often he gets bullied on defense. And
fair.
I'm and I and it's not really to say that he's not a good player, because offensively I like his game, but it's just, man, we have big, physical, strong guards that are going to
Yeah,
make his life a nightmare defensively, put Jalen Brunson in foul trouble. And I feel like Wemby can do the same thing to Cat. Of course, Cat, I feel like he's a little bit larger, has a big body. So, like, there are some defensive upsides to him. But man, I think like a really good New York Knicks game, it's just they're gonna have to shoot lights out and
right.
hope for the absolute best. But if we shoot like tonight, we're gonna win that game.
That would be probably the recipe for success for them, and he would have to make at least 5 3-pointers. I don't see that happening, personally, but I do wanna see our guys come out and compete hard, but man, like, thinking about our guard depth and you talking about how big they are, it's like, all right, cool, Steph Castle's going to the bench, and then you're like, "Ah, damn, Dylan Harper's coming out." It's like, "Oh, okay, cool, Devin Vassell is going to the bench." Like, "Oh, cool, Keldon Johnson's coming out." Like, it's just one of those you just on rotation, and then you hope you get a break whenever Wimpy goes out. But then if Luke Cornett comes in, that's still not an easy bucket down low. You still got to work for it. It's a little bit easier, but it's not going to be easy. So I'm to the moon about this team. And then on top of that, like you have Carter Bryant that's still developing, and you have other guys that you're looking at going, this is a really well balanced team, and in today's NBA, this is how you win games. I mean, this is what the Thunder did last year. They had several guys averaging 10 plus points more a game, and they were able to win a championship with it.
Right. That's a really good point. They were a team that was able to beat their opponent in a wide variety of ways, and we're showing that once again tonight. And I just want to highlight a couple of these comments. Yes, absolutely. Spurs have just moved to a different mindset and playing that game. Ball movement reminds me of the team we used to
Yep.
know. Absolutely. And I think that it's the type of ball movement that you see when you have that comfortability playing with each other. And I noticed that when you have a game where you only have a couple of turnovers in the first half and you look
Yeah.
so polished, and obviously we had a buttload of assists tonight. On nights where we have 30 plus assists, we're 18-2. So when
Yeah.
we move the ball, we are a successful team. And so I agree. The way we're moving the ball, it reminds me of the beautiful game to a certain degree, but
It's a different like Showtime type
yes.
of a beautiful game. We got to find a new name for it because like one of the coolest things I love seeing is when Devin Vassell has a shot, the guy's coming to collapse to try to close him out, and then Wemby just does one of these, and Devin Vassell gets an easy assist, and Victor gets an easy dunk. Like this beautiful game has evolved into something else, and when you have a guy like Wemby who just has, you have to have at least 2 or 3 sets of eyes on him at all times, no matter what you're doing. So that's what I love to see. But we got to come up with a new name for the beautiful game here in 2026.
It's gotta it's I feel like it needs to happen organically. I don't want to force it, but at the end of the day, I think we will know it when we hear it. I have to highlight this comment. Uh I'm glad Victor played minimal minutes as well. I do feel like he is tired too. When you're looking at him get up and down in transition, looks a little bit slow. Obviously, this is the second night in a row where he's put up minimal points, and I believe back-to-back 12-point outings. Doesn't leave a lot to be or leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah.
But I also know that second night of a back-to-back, sure, I'm expecting the scoring to be a little bit down, but it's also just how much he's involved in the offense in general, and he's setting less impactful screens, wanting to be at the high post less as like an offensive hub, and it just leaves me to be like, all right, dude, you really need these couple of days off. Like this is when I want to see
Go play
Victor.
chess.
Right, right. Go play chess, do absolutely nothing. Go ahead and work on that Lego set that you've been setting aside for a while. Like, literally just chill, my dude, and, I think that he's gonna come back with the rejuvenation, against the Knicks this weekend.
Yeah, he said that he didn't sleep very well the night before the Raptors game. And so he was kind of up all night or whatever. And so, I'm sure it's just a lot going on for him. And sometimes you just have those nights where you can't sleep. And I get it. I wouldn't want to sleep well. I don't think I would sleep well in Canada either. So, that's just, having all that maple syrup in my belly. That's what would happen. But I think the next couple of days, yes, absolutely go rest, go hang out, go do whatever you want to do. I mean, I would say more than likely we have the day off tomorrow or we have a very light shoot around. So if some of the guys want to go out and have fun in New York and Brooklyn and go to a Michelin star restaurant, have at it. Good luck. Have a great time, but be ready for Sunday. Like that's the big thing. You got to be ready to play that Knicks team because they're going to be locked in. And if we see Jeremy Snowhand on the floor, he's going to want to get a little bit of revenge in some capacity. So be prepared to deal with that nonsense.
Uh, I mean, I don't think he's gonna be playing enough minutes to really, like, enact revenge, but,
I mean, he'll just
I
get in
just
someone's face for fun, and we'll be like, okay, cool.
yeah, absolutely, but yeah, he's also getting a lot of media love, and hope that doesn't get to his head. I think Victor's smart enough to deal with a lot of the media attention that he's been receiving lately, especially now that he's just really solidified himself into the MVP conversation, where
Absolutely.
that's a different level of coverage where you are always being talked about, you're always being criticized. There's always a list where you're on it being floated around
Oh
somewhere,
yeah. If you
and
want to
so
rage bait on TikTok, do something Wimby related. That's for sure. I saw someone like that said Wimby isn't a top 10 person in or not top 10 player in the NBA right now because he hasn't gone to the playoffs. And it's like you can't reason with someone with that mindset.
yeah.
So, that's just whatever. But Wimby just needs a couple of days rest. He'll be fine. He's played a shit ton of basketball and also all the stuff that he did for All-Star game too. Like this guy needs a break. And I mean, I think these next couple of days will be good for him. I'm sure he has a couple friends from Paris that flew in just to come say hi. He might be hanging out with some celebrities. I'm sure Spike Lee's gonna be like, "Come be in my movie." So whatever he wants to do, just go do it, enjoy it, go get a baguette from the French area of New York and play some chess, man. Like that's all I can say.
Yeah. Seriously, just do whatever you need to do to recuperate. I agree wholeheartedly. But yeah, there was definitely a couple more things I wanted to talk about when it comes to, the game tonight. I wanted to highlight Keldon Johnson. Uh, doesn't look like his shoulders really bothering him too much.
Not that much.
No,
Mitch was a little coy before the game too. I was like, oh man, he's like, I don't know, man. It's gonna get to see what how Keldon feels after he warms up, and I'm like, come on, man.
in 18 minutes, 6 for 7, 13 points, 4 rebounds. He hit the only 3 he took. That's exactly what you want from Keldon in minimal minutes, really. And
Yeah,
so it's big
it's.
time impact.
What do you think about this? Do you think we could live in a world potentially this year where it's Victor Wembanyama winning MVP, Keldon Johnson winning 6 man, Wemby also winning defensive MVP, and then also Mitch Johnson winning Coach of the Year?
Oh man, I think there's a lot to I mean, I think there's a lot that would have to happen for Victor to not miss those 4 games because he only has 4 games
Right.
before he's ineligible. And that to me, it's like, you know, it could be something like he's sick a couple of games and,
Yeah.
he tweaks something super minorly and we're just being overly cautious about it. And then all of a sudden he's not the MVP anymore. So like, I think there's, if he plays the rest of the season, then yes, I think there's a good chance that quite a bit of that could happen, especially if we end up leapfrogging OKC. I think
Yeah.
that there's no way that Mitch Johnson doesn't win Coach of the Year, and
Right.
if Wemby's eligible to win Depoy, he's going to win Depoy. It's mainly just the MVP that I'm thinking is,
How about Keldon?
Keldon 6 man of the year. Like, I mean, we still need to keep preaching that. We still
Yeah.
need to keep screaming that from a mountaintop because I don't think that people understand
Keldon 6 man.
right. I don't think people understand the kind of impact he has because he's the only guy that really just plays smash mouth basketball on
Right.
our team. That's just like, oh, here's that shoulder. I'm getting into the lane no matter what. And it's it's so needed at times. And a lot of other organizations just don't have a guy like Keldon.
Yeah, man. With Wimby only having those 4 games, it reminds me of that video. I forgot it was a College Humor or something like that. And they're like, Vinny ate a peanut. They're making fun of Entourage.
He's
Can't do
not
the
doing
movie.
he's not doing the movie.
Can't do the movie. So hopefully Wimby can qualify. I hate that stupid rule because clearly Wimby is the best defensive player in the NBA today. Like there's no doubt about it. And even Evan Mobley, like last year, was like, I probably shouldn't have got this, to be honest with you. But thank you, because now I just got an extra like $15 million a year on my contract. So appreciate you for that. But
Right.
at the end of the day, like if you look at what we're doing and Wimby plays 64 games, like come on.
Right. It's such an arbitrary number. Like you should be able to give that award freely. You should just know. But I gotta highlight this comment from JTV. 19-0 now when we shoot 40% or higher from 3. Yes, we were talking earlier. Now we seem to be a team that can also assume this identity of the 3-point shooting. This 3-point deadly team that can space the floor with heater performances from Julian Champagny tonight. Like, I don't think we properly glazed him earlier. I think
Yeah.
we glazed him a
I
little
mean,
bit.
go over his line.
Absolutely. Julian Champagny, 26 points tonight, 10 for 14 from the field, 6 for 9 from 3. Didn't really need to get rebounds like he usually does because he was mainly spending his time from beyond the
If they're
arc.
going
And
in, you don't need no rebounds.
exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. If we're shooting damn near 50, 40, 90 as a squad, it's really not a lot of opportunities for those rebounds, like you said. So I think this is a performance that just, gives us the confidence in knowing that we are a deep basketball team. So
Yeah.
many of these guys can drop 20 plus any given night. And yeah, give a
And
lot of problems out there.
correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is our fifth game in a row that we've had a different scorer, high scorer. So we've had 5 games where we had 5 different uh, scorers, high score. How do I say that? Leading scorer, excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's late. I'm tired, but we looked like our team looks like a team that was built on 2K, like the way that we're playing in the efficiency numbers that we have. Like we're playing like a really good 2K team, and then we're playing against the Nets, who kind of look like, I don't know, like an NIL team. Like honestly, because they're all rookies. Like they had 5 first round draft picks, so it just looks like they're all just getting paid in this new team. I don't know if the Nets will ever figure it out. Maybe one day they will, but for the most part, like, I'm glad that we were able to come in, just belt to ass, not worry about anything, and kind of get that win, man. And that's the bottom line. Like we talked about last time, getting these wins against the East is what we need to do, and it's a great way for us to also build the brand too. I'm sure Brooklyn fans are going, I might end up going to that Madison Square Garden game because this dude is out of control and this team's fun to watch. Like dunking all the time. We got Dylan Harper doing offhand dunks. We got Steph Castle dunking on everyone's head. So we're a fun team to watch. And I think that's something that a lot of people haven't seen or said ever about the Spurs, or at least since, probably mid 90s.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to see how exciting we are on both ends of the floor when you just look at how solid we've been over the last month. Obviously, we're 11-0, but we're leading the league in points per game, leading the league in assists per game, leading the league in blocks per game, leading the league in offensive efficiency. It's like
Yeah.
there's so much to like about how we've played
And we're
basketball over the
young.
last month. Oh, I mean, of course, we're young, we're agile, we're really able to just impose ourselves all over some of the best teams in the NBA. OKC doesn't scare me. Detroit doesn't scare me. Denver, Minnesota, none of those teams truly scare me. Uh, but I do have to dive into a couple of questions because we got a
Sure.
couple of good questions in here.
Yeah.
J Dog Mike Taylor was pushing for a 50 game season. Other than money, what are y'all's thoughts? I just want to just dive in real quick. I do not want to see a 50 game season. I am all for keeping it at 82, maybe reducing some of the preseason and kind of expanding the season just a little bit to where you have some room in between games. You're able to have more rest days, certainly no back-to-backs.
Yeah.
I think that if you're able to do that, the guys are going to be more comfortable. You're going to see less injuries.
Yeah.
And I think that that makes more sense to me than making a radical change and just shortening the season altogether. So shorten preseason, maybe even no preseason at all. I mean, it, could be a
Yeah.
thing that we just figure out, hey, the league is more efficient without it.
Well, I mean, I will say I know starting the season, the Spurs utilized that preseason and we played our guys. Maybe not the first game, but definitely the second to last and definitely the last one. They were playing kind of like real minutes. And so it was good to kind of get that feel to go into that season. So, preseason, I think it's only like 6 games to begin with. So it's not anything crazy. But I agree with you. I think if you extend the season, have it go basically all the way till maybe July 4th or maybe even a little bit past that too. Because why not? What else is on during that time? If we're not in the Olympics, if we're not in the World Cup, or even if we are in the Olympics, that shit's in August or so. World Cup start late June, but in that middle of June, end of June timeframe, there's nothing going on. So why don't you just have your Western Conference, Eastern Conference finals during that time? have your finals during the first week of July, and then you go into your off season. I mean, like it's not that hard to e- expand your season a little bit. It's just not what we're used to. So people are scared to change. So they're not willing to do it quite yet.
Right. And I feel like if you change to a 50-win season, it becomes too hard to decipher not necessarily who's the best player, like stats wise or
Yeah.
whatever, but it just puts things so out of context when you're talking about, oh, this guy played a full season or this guy averaged this for a full season or and so it yeah, it would really just change a lot of the context and the way that we would honestly have to cover the game and how we would have to reference things that happened in the past. So honestly,
Yeah.
just for us in the podcasting world, just a really big fucking headache. So I don't want that to happen.
I mean, it would be similar to what we see in college where they play on a Tuesday and a Saturday or a Sunday and a Wednesday or whatever the case may be, and that's how it would turn into. And I don't. I mean, I don't think we are that at that point quite yet, but there is definitely a way for this NBA season to get expanded and be the talk of the town because you need eyeballs on your product right now. And what's a good way to do it than going up against the dog days of summer in baseball?
Absolutely. Which should be an easy battle.
Yeah,
I don't see why. I mean, should we just keep answering all these great
sure.
questions in the
And
chat? I mean,
questions tonight. Yeah, after
dude,
after 11 wins, I'm sure everyone has a bunch of questions. I get it.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I just have to. I mean, J Dog coming in with another question real quick. But what about team tanking? I mean, I think I've pretty much solved team tanking. I mean, I think what we need to do is we just need to lock the lottery odds at All Star break or around then, and then the last portion of the league or the last portion of the season, why would the teams not be incentivized to play competitive basketball at that point? Your fate is already sealed. Why would you purposefully be bad? You might as well just send your young guys, send whoever out there to just see what you got. Like what kind of lineups are going to stick? Maybe you play some funky brands of basketball, but you're still going out there in the hopes to win and to play competitively. So I think that you lock in the lottery odds and just make that last 25 plus games of the league or the season more competitive. Sure, teams may still tank for a little bit of the season, but for me, it's like the first chunk of the year, the first 20 25 games, why not play hard? Your team's going to play hard to see what you're about. And then that middle chunk, yeah, sure, you may have some teams tanking, but
Yeah.
once your fate is sealed, you have no incentive to play bad. So I feel like teams are going to inherently just want to win if they're not incentivized to lose.
Yeah. I think you have to find that fine line between making the owners happy and the players happy at the same time. Because like at the end of the day, if you're in those bottom feeder teams and you're trying to get a draft pick, but you may not be on the team next year because that draft pick's taking your spot. Like I would feel a type of way about that because it's business at the end of the day. So you got to find a happy balance of that. I saw something too that would include like the teams that are also in the playoff hunt and make it kind of a point system so in order to like, I guess make it more competitive, I'm butchering the mindset or the whole thing, but I think there's somewhere in there that you can find where you can not tank but still be competitive, but also you gotta do something with your draft picks too. I mean, the Nets are a perfect example. They had 5 first round picks this year and didn't do shit with it. Like I couldn't name you a single person that they drafted, to be honest with you. I'm sure they were on the court today, but I couldn't name you a single person. So you got to look at that and go, well, I mean, they're just a bad organization. Like sometimes you just
Yeah.
have bad organizations. Look at the Cowboys.
Well, they just drafted so many guys in the same archetype. I mean, you saw Igor tonight. You saw Traore. Danny Wolf. Like, oh, I mean, Danny Wolf is a different archetype, but a lot of the guys they just got like these like slow like opportunity creating point guards that can't play defense, and it's like all of these guys can't have the ball in their hands. So like I was just really wondering what the hell they were doing on draft night. But yeah, it's just yeah, you have to be good. You have to you have to sort of work towards being good, and the draft has to give you the ability to make that happen. And so much of what was being proposed in terms of like fighting tanking,
Yeah.
it just seemed like it would create more problems than it would actually solve. And I loved what Steph Curry said. He goes, "Is tanking really that big of a problem?" And he like
Right.
he was really breaking it down and was like, "There's really only a few teams that are tanking, and that's usually about the same every year.
Right.
So it's really not that big of an issue."
Yeah, it's tanking with style, what the Spurs did before Wemby. It's when you be competitive, you lead up until the fourth quarter, and then you go, we're gonna sit all of our players now. We'll see you guys later. So I would, and then say, well, it's all young teams, guys. We have a young team. We're trying to get them minutes. But I would say, for us, we draft well. So we got real lucky with our draft picks, especially as of late. But there are just other teams that just cannot draft talent. Like they just don't have an eye for talent. It doesn't fit their schemes. And then whenever you draft, like look at all the people that who's been terrible lately, like the Pelicans or even like who I'm kind of blanking on my names right now, but just some bad teams out there.
I mean, like
Like
there's been a lot of teams that are bad right now. I
yeah,
mean, obviously like the Nets, the
the Nets, the
Wizards,
Kings, the
yeah, the
Blazers
Kings
to
are
an extent
yeah.
right now. But like you look at those and they've had a lot of or like lottery picks, they just haven't done anything with them. So, Scoot Henderson went number 2. I'm sure they would want to redo that at this point. So like we sometimes you just don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot to like about there's a lot to like about how we performed in the draft, and so it's it's nice to see that we've really benefited so much from our like logical tanking, and
Yeah.
in seeing other teams that really aren't able to capitalize just kind of makes us realize, hey, it's not a exact science to it. So
No.
we're
And then on top of all that, let's say you do draft a top 3, top 4 pick and then all of a sudden a year later you fire your head coach and you bring in a new coach and this new coach doesn't know what to do with your player that you drafted in the top 3. So like, that's kind of like the circus that can potentially be of an organization in the NBA, and you can just kind of close your eyes and imagine the ones that are always at the bottom because they're the ones that are always screwing up. So
yeah.
sometimes just organization, they suck.
Yeah, you're gonna be in a perpetual state of just absolute horrendousness. And what really is frustrating is the league only feels the need to step in now because they have so many gambling partners, and the superstars and the big name athletes that are on these teams that are tanking, and they're sitting out, they're affecting the odds to such a large degree that
Mm-hmm.
these betting sites aren't super happy about it. And
I
so
mean, isn't that gambling though? Like that's kind of gambling. Like I don't know what you're arguing about. Like you get told the money line, you get told the spread, you get told the over unders, and if you want to play player props, then you got to know who's playing and you got to know what's going on. Like that's just gambling to me, dog. Like if they're mad because of whatever reason, like at the end of the day, we all lose in gambling. Like we all lose in sports betting. I don't know a single person that does sports betting that comes to me and goes, "Hey man, lifetime, I'm up 10 grand." No one ever says that.
right.
Everybody loses.
Yes. Absolutely. But you know what? Not the Spurs right now, because we're on an 11-0 win
11
streak,
game.
baby.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yes. But I do want to bring up another question from Seismically. Aren't you guys worried about Wemby's fitness in a 7-game series? I think that I'm not necessarily worried about something I haven't seen yet. If we
Yeah.
get there and his fitness isn't to where we want it to be, and we have to limit his minutes, he's looking like he might get injured out there if we play him 35 plus minutes like we want to in the postseason, then yeah, then something will be wrong. But I'm not going to really look at this stretch of the last 2 or 3 games as like, "Oh, Wemby's just getting run down." I think that he just needs a solid, couple of days rest, and then I think that we're gonna see another really strong, healthy stretch of games from him, and thankfully, they got a couple days off right now.
Yeah, 1000%. And with the playoff though, like yes, it's going to be physical on the court, but you're not going to be going from San Antonio or Austin to Toronto to New York to Philly to here to there and doing all. Like, you're going to have your set routine. You're going to be at a place for at least a minimum of 3 days, maybe 4 days. So you're going to have a set schedule and be a little more locked in to kind of what you're doing, and you're not kind of all rambly or random. You have a set time where you need to do stuff. Like, you essentially have 2 weeks with the team if it goes 7 games. So I'm not too worried about his fitness. I think right now it's definitely something we need to monitor because he's never played like this before. Like, this is like every time we see Wemby play, this is another peak. This is another peak. And so we just got to make sure that what he has, he just gets the proper rest. He takes care of his body. We all know that he will. And I'm not really worried about him. I do worry about more of the physicality that he sees, and Mitchell Robinson on Sunday is going to be a pain in my ass. I'm sure we're going to come in here on Sunday and go, Mitchell Robinson, super annoying. I hate him, but I would love him to be a Spur because that's just the way he plays Wemby. He plays Wemby super hard, always has, and he's going to have his moments where he's going to get the best of Wemby. But I think, all in all, Wemby is obviously a much better player, and he's going to end up with a great game. I think we can look for Wemby to, after two 12-point games, would not surprise me if Wemby drops 50 on Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, I think after a couple days of really solid rest, you know, f him always wanting to perform against New York, I feel like the stars are aligning for him to have a really big game after a couple of really soft, offensive games from Victor, but obviously still impacting the game defensively because we know that's what Vic does. That's his calling card, and if he's doing anything out there, it's impacting the game defensively. But I also think that there's other guys we got to get to tonight, and we haven't really finished talking about because
Yeah.
we kind of moved away because I feel like Steph Castle we need to mention a
God,
little bit
Steph
about.
Castle.
He just even though he didn't really shoot that efficiently tonight, didn't hit a 3, I still feel like his ability to generate really solid free throw attempts is something that is almost a superpower at this point. I just feel like he knifes through the lane effortlessly, and that's something that we're talking about the playoffs. That's something that's always going to be there in the playoffs. Like
Yeah.
whether it's, 10, 12, 14 free throws, like he's going to be able to get those points easily from the line. So I view that as sure points, as much as a Wemby lob.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, Steph Castle, man, what a draft pick that was for us. What a draft pick that was for us. I mean, that guy is going to get paid a lot of money, and I'm super excited to see him develop because the way he's playing right now, and if he starts to develop any kind of jump shot that is more efficient and he can hit it at a higher clip, this guy's going to be right next to Wemby in first team All NBA teams. I mean, that's where I see Steph Castle's career going, and there's no reason why he can't get there. So I look at him and I just get like kind of a mix of Derrick Rose and Gary Payton on defense, like just a guy that is super competitive like Wemby. And I know that they don't have any playoff experience, but a national title is not easy to get to, and he has that experience. So we'll see kind of what he does in the playoffs. But yeah, if we can get Steph Castle to the line and he starts to collapse the defense, and we can start kicking out, and we turn this into the beautiful game again, then boom, here we go.
Yeah. I don't see why we can't do that. But yeah, a couple other things just about tonight. I'm really excited we had a bounce back game from the free throw line.
Yes. When
Last
we started
game,
4 for 4, I was like, yeah, let's
dude.
go.
Oh my gosh. I literally went to bed last night just like fucking 57%. Like, Jesus Christ, we were just trying to give that game away last night. And so to see us just kind of shove all that aside, come back out and shoot 85% as a team, that's what I want to see. Just a
Yeah.
bounce back statement, free throw shooting performance. Well
And
done.
I mean, it's free throw shooting's contagious too. So like once you see it, one of your guys miss two, you go to line, you might miss one. I mean, it's a contagious thing, and then it starts to kind of snowball. We've seen it in the past. Like I remember the days where Tim Duncan couldn't hit a free throw to save his life, and I mean he struggled tremendously. And then on top of that, you have Bruce Bowen who couldn't hit anything from in front of the basket. If they moved it to the side, he might have been able to hit a couple free throws, but he couldn't do very much besides that. So, you know, you hope that they just woke up today and practice free throws, and it looks like that's what they did. But we still got to be more efficient. I would love to see Wemby be a 90% free throw shooter personally.
Oh yeah. I think that's in the cards in the future. I think that there's a reasonable amount of faith in that being a reality. So absolutely free throw shooting vital, absolutely important to team success, but there wasn't too many other things that I had in my notes for tonight's game. We pretty much got to all of it. It just felt like this was a really blessing of a second night of a back to back when you can just almost have a practice game like this and just work on your stuff for in a game where we were not losing the game for a singular moment tonight.
I would expect that against the Nets.
Absolutely.
The good
And
thing
one
is we're not we've come so far since the beginning of the season, and now we're beating teams where we know we can beat them. We're not laying eggs like we did. We're not. I mean, I still think we have a little bit of trouble in the third quarter, but it's gotten a lot better. We typically come out a little flat, but we figure it out probably midway through the third quarter, heading into the fourth. So we've gotten better at that. To see this team grow from where we started has been so much fun to watch. And I mean, regardless of where we land, I still think Mitch Johnson should be the coach of the year, just the way that we've been playing and everything that we've been seeing and the efficiency that we've been playing at.
absolutely. Yeah, I think we're third in defense, seventh in offense overall, and it's yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Mitch Johnson should get a good amount of credit for that. Not
It's gonna
all
be
the
him or
credit, but
JB.
yeah, JB. But I mean, they were a playoff team last year, so I expect them to build off of what
Good
they
point.
were doing last year. Like we
We
not
won
even
34 games, right?
right, we were not flirting with the playoffs last year, so the drastic improvement we've seen from us, I just think that is more impressive to me. Uh, but yeah, my dude, and also just Dylan Harper, 5-1 assist to turnover ratio in the month of February.
Yeah. I mean, people don't have him in their top 5 of rookie of the year candidates, which I understand. He doesn't have all the stats to back up all that stuff, but dude, like what he does and how he does it and what he brings to the table, like if you were to like, and I don't know if you saw the interview with Sean, Matt, and Jacob last night after the Raptors game, but he was talking like a 6-year vet. Like everything that he's been saying and stuff, dude, he's been absolutely just way beyond his years, man. Just I love Dylan Harper, and I want him to be in more talks of rookie of the year. It's gonna go to Cooper Flag because he's the pillar of that organization right now. But Dylan Harper needs to be in those conversations.
Absolutely, he does. Absolutely, he does. And he consistently will be. It's just that there is a couple of rookie of the years that are just, Coop and Khan. They're
Derek
playing
Queen, yeah.
Derek Queen, but like I mean, what we're seeing, like I'm so impressed from Khan Kneppel. It is really ridiculous. Like I can't believe that I'm seeing a rookie shoot as efficiently as he is. He's having a damn near 50-40-90 season as a rookie, and on high volume too.
Yeah.
It's not just like, oh, he's a role player putting up 8 points a game and shooting it efficiently. It's like, no, he's 20 points a game on brilliant efficiency. And I was somebody that was kind of hating on him going into the NBA, being like, I think his max is going to be about 15, 16 points a game on good efficiency when he gets to his prime. And he is blowing that out of the water as a rookie. So I got to glaze him a little bit, even though I think Dylan Harper was always meant for us.
Yeah.
And somebody that I view as like a 15 plus year guy alongside of Wemby. And Khan could have been that too, but I also feel like Dylan just fits like a glove.
Yeah. Because that's what we need. Like that's what we need. We needed another guard. And I'm glad that we were able to, or all the talks of we have too many guards, we got to trade De'Aaron Fox. I'm glad that's all down, put to bed. We're out of there.
Yeah. I mean, I think financially it's going to be tough to keep him in the future, but like I don't think it's I think all of the trade him now kind of conversations were outlandish, a little bit just way too premature. But
Especially for,
ultimately,
for Giannis. Like, stop it.
right. But ultimately, he's making 50 plus $1 million a year, and we're gonna have to pay Wemby, and then we're gonna have to make plans to pay Castle right after that. So it's like we're gonna
It's gonna
have
get
to
sticky.
it's gonna get sticky. And I don't know if yeah, I don't know exactly where we're gonna
That's
lean,
why we
but
have a first round pick for the Timberwolves in 2031.
right. We're gonna dangle that out there. Absolutely. But yeah, that's pretty much all the notes I had for the game tonight.
I do
Nothing
want to
too
give a shout out to the Brooklyn game, like the actual game atmosphere, watching on NBA TV. Man, really entertaining. Like one of the more fun fan experiences that I thought. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I shout out to the I think they called the Brooklyn Nets. They're the dance team.
yeah,
Phenomenal, super phenomenal dance team.
there you go. Shout out to the dance team. Yeah, we should take note from them and
Bring back the silver dancers.
get the silver dancers back over here. Jeez. Um Seismically coming in with the question, could Wemby consider a pay cut if it helped the organization? Well,
He's already said it. Yeah,
I think that we've seen a bevy of superstars over the years do it. Whether Tim Duncan did it late in his career, we saw. I remember Dirk doing it. I even remember James Harden doing it with his previous contract. So like, I think Wemby is a guy that is so beyond competitive that yes, he would take
and
a little bit of financial compensation loss to in order to
and
sign
he's
like a really, potent guy.
yeah, and he's not someone who's motivated by money. He's not motivated, and that's what's awesome. Like, he just wants to be able to afford the Lego set that costs $1,200. Like, that's financial stable to him. Like, that's what he wants to do. So he's not. You're probably never going to see Wimby out on a yacht during the summer, drinking champagne, eating caviar. I mean, he might. I mean, he can do it if he wants. I don't care. But like, we're not going to see him at those chic parties. We're going to see him like sitting crisscross applesauce on his living room floor playing with like a T-wing or something like that, or X-wing. That's what we're going to see. So that I'm happy about that. And he's already said like he's willing to take those pay cuts to keep everyone together and bring someone else in. So, and also in the future too, like we don't know what we don't know. So we might have to move on a couple people, but for right now, we got to enjoy the right now.
Absolutely. Yeah, we gotta it's all about just catching lightning in a bottle, and it seems like we've caught it sooner rather than later. So I think that this problem is a maybe 3 years down the road kind of problem. So let's just ride the wave while we can and try to make things happen sooner rather than later, which looks like a very real possibility because we looked at multiple power rankings earlier today, and some of them have us number one in the
Number
power rankings.
one.
And it's crazy because we had so many conversations going into the year and never viewed us as a team that would be at the peak of the mountaintop, but here we are and we're not surprised.
Yeah, like I'm curious to know where this thing goes. Like I see as we watch every game, so we see kind of where our baseline is, and our baseline is now like here. So if we continue this upward trajectory and we get it from here to like up here, and we're playing championship basketball in like the end of March, middle of April, I mean, what does that look like for this team? Like that's the crazy part. Like what like is Wemby dropping four? Is that like what's the peak of this team? Is it Wemby dropping 40 a night? Is that the peak? Like I don't know what the peak is because it seems like everything just seems to be in place right now. So my question is, I think that I'm gonna need to get answered here pretty soon is where does this all go?
I think
Like
I
when you flush the toilet, where's it go?
I think I think the main answer to that is I don't know if it's Wemby maxing out his stats offensively. I think his defense is going to be felt immediately, but I think it's everyone else is feeling the openness from the gravity that Wemby creates. And I think
Yeah,
what we're seeing right now is the example where it's, Champagny getting open looks or Vassell able to nail these in rhythm threes. When we see 16 threes in the last 3 games, it's like no shit, these opportunities are there. And
yeah,
Wemby's getting beat to hell so many of these games that may be the story for a lot of the playoffs, and that gravity is going to leave things wide open for everyone else. So I'm I'm not necessarily thinking Wemby needs to go out there and drop 40 pieces. I'm thinking that we're going to need Wemby to just go out there and be normal Wemby and
yeah.
just be the defensive monster you are. But then we're going to need a random heater performance from somebody else, and then a couple of our stable guys to just keep doing their thing, and we're going to be fine.
Going to be fine. Yes, we are.
Absolutely.
Speaking of fine, there are some fine rappers up in the Brooklyn area, Rob.
You about
Some
to hit me with
very
the
fine
blind
rappers.
rank?
I think I want to do a blind rank Brooklyn rappers.
Oh, it's time for a blind rank.
I need a theme song. It's time for a blind rank. Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah.
All right, Rob. We're gonna blind rank these Brooklyn rappers. So they are from Brooklyn. They rep Brooklyn, and they are great rappers, in my opinion. So we're gonna start with Busta Rhymes.
Ooh, Busta. I mean, obviously, when you think of like speed and versatility in terms of rapping, dude, Busta's up there with some of the best. But I know some of the heavy hitters from Brooklyn, so I think I got to put him right at the middle of the pack. I'm gonna go Busta 3.
Busta 3. I like it. All right. Oh man, there's a lot of good, there's a lot of good ones here.
I know. I think I fucked up already.
We're gonna go Nas.
See, I think Illmatic is probably the most complete hip hop album of all time. But I also don't think he's the best Brooklyn artist. So, man, I'm gonna put him at 2.
Nas at 2. All right. We're gonna go Jay-Z. Hove. The king of the Illuminati. I mean, Jay-Z.
I'm gonna put him at 5 for being on the Epstein list.
Automatic 5.
Automatic 5.
That one got me. All right. Fabulous.
Okay.
Fabo. So you have Buster at 3, Nas at 2, Jay-Z at 5, Fabulous.
Fabulous at 4. Who's my 1?
Biggie.
Big, yeah. Okay. I'm glad that worked out that way.
I
I
almost pulled the rug, and I was gonna do Lil Kim, but I'll give you Biggie.
I'd have been cool with Lil' Kim as well. She was a baddie back in the day.
Yeah, man. That How Many Licks, the song she did with Cisco, is insane. I mean, it's nasty. I just remember going, wow, great bars. I would have never rhymed those party parts with each other.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But you know what? I'm cool with that. Biggie, I
Biggie
mean,
1, Nas 2, Buster 3, Fabulous at 4, and Jay-Z at 5. I like it.
yep. Good old Epstein loving Jay-Z. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I don't know. I don't
It'd be
know.
funny if Jay-Z like ended up on The Voice one day. That'd be hilarious.
I could see him doing some sellout shit like that.
Clean up the image a little bit.
Yeah, there you go.
You went to
Uh
go see Jay-Z at the Barclays Center, right?
I did. I did.
Nice.
It was the first event ever at the Barclays Center. It was squeaky clean and fresh, and it was fun. We sat very close to the stage. It was a great concert, and he literally just walked out of the arena just right onto the street and just like walked over to like somebody's house that he knew, and like they like hung out, and like it was there was like a whole mob of people that like followed him there, and we were like off to the side buying some like counterfeit t-shirts and stuff. And yeah, that was us. Uh but
It says JT instead of Jay-Z.
it's like, does this say gay Z? It's like, what's going on? Um, but dude, we gotta get to some donkeys.
Yeah, donkeys for sure.
All right. I mean, I think I'm gonna dunk on Ja Rule. Anytime anytime that Ja Rule is mentioned in any type of setting, I always just feel I always just I don't think about his music anymore. I now think about how much 50 Cent trolls him and how he
And
does
Firefest.
yes, and just dumb shit like that, and like 50 Cent like buying like his concert tickets so his concerts were empty, and it's like he's like he's like a laughing stock. Like we're sitting here laughing at him now, and he was used to be like a hip hop tough guy that was like, you know, I'm gonna be in the songs with the, you know, what would I be without my baby? It's like, you know, it's like doing some shit like that, like trying to be tough and smooth, and it's like, dude, you're
They
not
played his
that guy
video at the
anymore.
game. They played the what's the always on time gave you my
Yeah, yeah, that was
Ja Rule. Hey, but he got to see Wemby play basketball, so I'm sure his eyeballs are very happy.
yeah. I mean, as long as he doesn't try to bring him to fucking Firefest.
That's a good dunk. Ja Rule.
Absolutely.
Man, I wish Matt Bonner was on the on the telecast so he can be like, "Hey, Sean, so what's your favorite Ja Rule song?"
Well, I like that Jacob asked him if he had met Glorilla, and he was just like, "No, I haven't yet." And I was like, "Well, you know, she was at the game last night. Maybe he did after that." So maybe Matt Bonner's putting himself out there. You never know.
That's funny.
What's your
Good dunk.
dunk, my dude?
I'm gonna dunk on Mike Fizdale. So he
Oh,
was on Michelle Beadle's show, the one she does on FanDuel Network with Lou Williams and Chandler Parsons, and he started bringing up shit from the past. He started saying all this conspiracy theory stuff about how the Spurs turned off the AC and they were prepared and they had their ice packs ready and blah 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 blah. And it's like, both teams had to play in that, right? Like both teams had to play in with no AC. And I wouldn't, like you're saying, like we were prepared for that. Like, come on, be real. Do you really think the Spurs are that organization to do something petty like that? No, like I refuse to believe that. I think you're just still trying to find excuses for LeBron James 10 years past this because we still belt the ass him that year. So It doesn't matter. It's 20. There's 2026. It happened in 2014. Mike, get over it.
Yes.
You would have lost that game too. It wouldn't have mattered.
Absolutely. And as somebody that has played in so many fucking gyms that haven't had air conditioning, I've played in some broke ass gyms that like they're like, "Oh, we propped open the door to let some cool air in." And it's like, "Oh, thanks." It's like there's like a skylight coming in and that's the only
Right.
light coming in. It's like I've played in some horrible facilities
Yeah.
and it's like a whole AAU tournament there. It's like a series of games all there in the same day. And so the thought of like grown men, professional athletes not being able to handle a
That's how you used to ball.
a singular game without the most pristine air conditioning. It's like, dude, get fucked if that's what you're bringing up over a decade later. Great dunk.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And Michelle Beadle was like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here?
Right.
So yeah, I'm gonna dunk on Mike Fizdale for that because that was some pettiness, and I'm not here for it. Like, it's 2026. You don't have a job. You're doing those, those FaceTime interviews on those shows where like the phone's right here in their face and they're answering questions and like they have one ear, they can barely hear you, and there's a delay. That's his life now. But he's also doing it probably with a fully loaded bank account. So shout out to Michael Fizdale.
Right. Yeah. Not a bad life, but at the end of the day, still super petty to bring that shit up. Especially when we're getting the dubs and we're getting the dubs now.
That's
And
all that matters.
it feels great to be a Spurs fan, and it feels wonderful over here at the Baseline Bums podcast. And if you're still here with us after the Spurs Nets breakdown, after that fun blind rank, after hearing us talk about some tanking solutions and some Spurs playoffs outlooks once again, we kind of went off on a couple of tangents, but I really, really enjoyed the episode that we had tonight. And if you're still here after those dunks and after all the fun stuff we've talked about, we appreciate you. We not only love you, but we love you hard over here.
Hard.
All of this is brought to you by Love You Hard TV and the wonderful people over at the In the Building podcast. Shout out to Mike, Rudy, Jose. They're doing excellent work over there. If you're not following Love You Hard TV, make sure you are. If you're following along the Baseline Bums for our live episodes on YouTube, whether you're following along the Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, the Blue Sky, our Discord, our Apple podcast, the audio on there, please follow, like, subscribe everywhere because your support means everything. You guys are this community, and we love getting on here talking about Spurs. We love being here, especially after an 11 game win streak. But
Woo.
even when we're losing, you guys still make this an enjoyable community. You guys still make this a really pleasurable experience. So you guys are the goats. Shortly, shortly saying that, but at the same time, uh, there's a lot to be excited about moving on. We got a lot of tough games, especially at home. But
Yep.
that being said, yeah, I still think that this is an obstacle that we can overcome. And yeah, we're going to be live sooner rather than later. Definitely coming at you live on Sunday after the Knicks game, but maybe we'll be live even sooner than that.
Yeah. Just don't forget, Keldon Johnson's this man of the year.
Yes. Scream it from a mountaintop, Spurs fans. Keldon Johnson, sixth man of the year. But let's hop off here and end this
All
episode the same
right.
way we end all episodes. And that's with a go
Go
Spurs.
Spurs.
Go.
Go.
Bum,
Bring back
bum,
the
bum,
sober
bum, bum,
answers.
bum, 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 bum,
Bring
bum,
back.
bum.